We'll now look at the Supplier module. You should have this screen in front of you. If you don't, click Suppliers down here on the module menu. The way this is set out is very similar to the company module and many of the modules on Sage. You have your list of suppliers here, then some icons such as posting invoices, adding new suppliers at the top here. You can display the supplier list by alphabetical account code, which is here, and reverse alphabetical order by clicking the boxes here, just like on the nominal ledger. By supplier name, reverse supplier name. By the balance on the supplier account, reverse balance. By credit limit, by contact name, and by telephone number. By default, it's always in account code, alphabetical order. So the way we would add a new supplier to Sage is by clicking the new icon here. So let's click that. This box will appear. You put your supplier in. So we'll put BPFS Limited. It gives the account code reference automatically. You can leave it as it is, or you can set up your own system. So the system I have on this demo account is the first 3 letters plus 3 digits. You then put in that supplier address. Like so. And for time, I won't bother filling the whole address, but you would fill it in, select the country, click next. Fill in contact details, email address, their website, a contact name you may have there, a trade contact, and their VAT number if they have one. You can then set up a default nominal code. So just on the nominal ledger we had all the nominal codes. You can set a default for this supplier. So say this supplier is materials imported. Click OK. Every time you post an invoice onto Sage, to save you searching for the nominal code, it will bring this one up automatically. Now you can only set one code as the default code, so I'd set it as the code the majority of the transactions from this supplier will get posted to. You can set up their tax code, so they're VAT registered, T1 for 20%. If they're not VAT registered, choose one of these other codes, T9 I would recommend. If they're 0 rated, click next. Enter the credit limit if they have one. The terms, settlement discount. Not many suppliers offer settlement discount anymore. It's getting a bit old fashioned, but if they do, you can put in the due days and the settlement discount in, and when you pay this supplier it will take the discount off for you automatically, and when you pay them through Sage and post the payment through Sage. So payment due days, this is the more important one, as when you bring up reports you want to see what's overdue and what's not overdue, and if the payment due day is not accurate, obviously that report is not going to be accurate. You can write in the terms up here, and then if the terms are agreed, tick that box. We'll show you how to have that box ticked by default later on in some future videos on this course. If you don't tick that box, then every time you load up this supplier that we're creating, it will say warning, terms aren't agreed. Next, you can enter their bank details, and then once again, is there an opening balance? 99% of the time there won't be. Create. We'll see that that supplier is now on here, BPFS Limited. If we double click on BPFS, we'll bring up their supplier record. Just like the nominal ledger, we could change the name and details of a nominal code, but we couldn't change the account code or the nominal code itself. The same as suppliers, you can't change the account code, but if the supplier changes its name, you can change that here, there, their address, their VAT number, any contact information, their email address. You can change that all here. Once you've made a change, so let's put a county in there and a postcode. Click save. Load up their record again, and you'll see that those details are now saved on there. If we click on defaults, we can change the default nominal code and default tax code. So if you haven't put a default tax code in, you can do that later on by coming into this screen. And also if you start purchasing something different from your supplier and want to change that nominal code, you can do here, just change it and click save. Let's look at another record. You'll see all the contact information has been placed in this record on this demo account. So if Quality Motors change its name to Motors Limited, just change it there, click save, and it'll be done for you. Now you may want to delete a supplier. You may have put a supplier on by mistake and may not want it anymore. You can click delete here, which will delete the supplier. Also click delete down here, just like we did on the nominal screen. You can delete down the bottom or double clicking on the record and deleting. But obviously if there are transactions booked to a supplier, just like the nominal records or nominal codes, you can't delete any records that have transactions booked to them. So we can delete this BPFS, click delete, click yes, and that is now gone. So how do we post an invoice on Sage from a supplier? Well, let's say we received an invoice from Studio Designs. We would click this invoice icon at the top here, and this box will appear, batch supplier invoices. It asks for the account code. Because we have highlighted Studio Designs, it brings up automatically. Put the date of the invoice in, the reference of the invoice, you may have an external reference, probably won't, 9% of the time it's going to be blank. The nominal code, this is the nominal code that will come up by default if we have set it. If we haven't set the default or we need another nominal code, there's a drop down menu where you can search, but if you know the nominal code you can just type it in and the drop down menu will bring the list up below you. So 7602 consultancy fees, and I'm just going to put consultancy in the details box. It asks for a net amount, so let's say £500. Because the tax code is set at T1, it will work out the VAT for us. So the net was 500, the VAT was 100, the total being 600. If we have another invoice for Studio Designs, if we click the F6 button, it will copy the box above the box you're currently on. So if the data is the same, also click F6. And if I just click an F6, I can copy boxes that are above, like so. Now we may have a supplier, we may have a number of invoices we want to put on at one time. If I just delete these by clicking F8,